Hello everyone, this is a recording for your lesson in phonetics entitled Stress Shifting Suffixes, namely the ic suffix, line rule, et and ety suffixes. So in this lesson we are going to practice and see some words having stress shifting suffixes, and we are going to analyze those words, and we are going to see that there are two changes. The first change, we are going to see that the stress has shifted from one syllable to another in the stem, and the second change is a change in vowel quality, for example from a weak vowel to a full and reduced vowel, or the opposite, from a full and reduced vowel to a weak vowel. And this change in vowel quality is due to the change or the shift of the stress, namely the primary stress. So we start with the first two lines. The first two lines, they are not stress shifting suffixes, but they are words with another type, which is called the neutral or weak suffixes. Those suffixes, when they are in words, they do not affect the placement of the stress. It means we keep it as it was in the stem. So we start with line 1. The root is mother, mother. So the stress was in the penult, on ma. When we have added the suffix li, which is a neutral or weak suffix, we notice that nothing happened, no stress shift and no vowel quality change, because the suffix is weak. So we say motherly, motherly. And again, another word where we have two weak suffixes, which is the li plus nus, li and nus. Because both are weak, so nothing will happen. We keep the stress as it was in the root, which is mother. So we say motherliness, motherliness. Again, another word, we have added the suffix hood, hood, which is also a neutral or weak suffix. So we say motherhood, motherhood. So I'll repeat the line. As I said, those are weak suffixes. So the root is mother, motherly, motherliness, motherhood. Okay, we move to the second line, which is the same thing. Nothing will happen to the stress placement or the vowel quality, because they are weak suffixes. We're talking about the suffix li, the suffix nus, and the suffix hood. So we read together the words. So the root is brother, brother, brotherly, brotherliness, brotherhood. Great. We have finished with the examples of neutral or weak suffixes. We carry on with stress shifting suffixes. Line 3, the root is center, center. Next word is central, central. The suffix, stress shifting suffix, is all, al, all, and it causes the stress to fall just on the syllable before it. So we say central, central. Next word is centralize, centralize. What do we have here? We have the suffix eyes. It is called verbal eyes. The rule says when the verbal suffix eyes is in verbs, the stress will fall on antepenult, on the antepenult. What does it mean, the antepenult? The antepenult is the third syllable from the end, the third syllable from the end. So centralize. Good. We move to the next word, which is centralization, centralization. So here we have the suffix ion, and the stress will just fall on the syllable before it. So the primary stress is on they, centralization. But here we have 3 syllables before the primary stress. We have 3 syllables before the primary stress. But as you know, in English, we can't have two unstressed syllables at the beginning of any word. So we need another level of stress. So we need a secondary stress. In this case, we cannot place it automatically because we don't have 2 syllables before the primary, but we have 3. So we need to go back to the root, the nearest root, which is central or centralized, whatever. And you see where is the primary stress. In center or central, the primary stress is on cen. So we turn this primary stress to a secondary stress in the word centralization. So the secondary stress is on cen because we have derived it from the root. So we call this rule for secondary stress derivational secondary stress. Something else, the suffix I-O-N. It is a stress shifting suffix, but it also follows what we call the line rule. It follows the line rule. What does it mean, the line rule? The line rule simply says any English word ending in the letter I or the letter E or the letter U, followed by a vowel, usually 1 vowel or 2, any number of vowels, plus optionally followed, okay? Now, optionally followed by any number of consonants, optionally followed by the silent letter E, the stress will fall on the penult. Again, I repeat the line rule. Any English word or any suffix which starts with the letter I or the letter E or the letter U, followed by any number of vowels, optionally followed by any number of consonants, optionally followed by the silent letter E, the stress will fall on the penult, that is the second from the end. We go back to our word, which is centralization, and we have the suffix ION. And I said that this suffix is under the line rule. Yes, how? We analyze this suffix. It starts, the rule says, the suffix must start with one of these letters, I or E or U. So our suffix ION, it starts with I. And then the rule says, followed by any number of vowels. The I here in ION is followed by the vowel O. And then the rule says, optionally followed by any number of consonants. And here it is followed by the consonant N. So here we have the rule. It means ION falls under the line rule. By the way, the line rule is a very powerful rule. Why it is a powerful rule? Because under it we have approximately 7-8 suffixes. So it is really very helpful, and it is under the stress shifting suffixes. We carry on. Number 4, we have the word real, which is the root, real. And then we have realize, realize. The stress is on real, okay? The next word is realization, realization. Here the ION, which is, as we said previously, is a line rule, and it is a stress shifting suffix, so the stress is on the penult, they. But how we have decided the secondary stress? Here, because we have only 2 suffixes before the primary, so it's automatically the first one, which is real, will take the secondary stress. So realization. The secondary is on real. Before we carry on, I want to talk about, I've already talked about it, which is the verbal suffixes rule. So this rule, it is called verbal suffixes rule. This rule concerns 3 suffixes. They are verbal eyes, verbal phi, and verbal ate. Those suffixes, when they are in verbs, I said verbs, when they are in verbs, the stress in polysyllabic verbs, the stress will fall on the antepenult syllable. The antepenult syllable means third from the end. So the rule concerns the verbal eyes, the verbal phi, and the verbal ate. We carry on. Number 5, the word harmony. Harmony, which is the root. So the stress is on ha. Harmony. Next word is harmonize. Harmonize. So here we have the verbal suffix eyes. So we said that when we have eyes in polysyllabic verbs, the stress is on the antepenult, third from the end. So the third from the end is ha. So harmonize. The primary stress will fall on ha, on the antepenult. Harmonize. Next word is harmonization. Harmonization. So we have two stresses, the primary and the secondary. We talk about the primary. The primary is because we have the ION suffix, which is a stress shifting suffixes under the line rule. So the primary will fall on the penult. We know that. But because we have 3 syllables before the primary, we need a secondary stress. How we are going to have it or to place it, we need a derivational rule. So we derive from the root. The root is harmonize or harmony. So the primary in the root is on ha. So we turn this primary to secondary in harmonization. So the secondary will fall on ha. Harmonization. Good. Number 6, the word urbanization. Urbanization. Here, primary stress, line rule on the penult. And the secondary, how many syllables we have here before the primary? How many? Urbani. So we have 3 syllables. It means we need to derive the secondary stress from the root. What is the root? The nearest root is urban. Urban. So the primary in the root is on so we turn it into a secondary in this word. So the secondary will fall on and it is called derivation for the secondary stress. Urbanization. Next word, it is the word familiarization. Familiarization. So here we have 2 stresses. One is the primary stress, which is on they, on the penult, because of the ION suffix or the line rule. But here we have more than 2 syllables before the primary. We have familiarize, so it means we have 4. And we can't have all of them unstressed in any English word, so we need another level of stress, which is a secondary stress. How we are going to have it? It's not automatic because they are not 2, they are 4, so we need to use the derivation rule. We derive from the root. What is the nearest root? The nearest root is familiar. Familiar. So me becomes a secondary stress in this word, so we say familiarization. So the secondary is on me. Great. Number 7, the word or the root pure. Pure. And we have added the verbal suffix phi, so it becomes purify. Purify. The reason behind the stress placement on the antepenult, which is pure, because we have the verbal suffix phi. Purify on the antepenult. The next word is purification. Purification. We have 2 stresses. The first is a primary stress on K, on the penult, because of the line rule. And the secondary is how many syllables we have before the secondary. We have purify. It means we have 3. It means it's derivational. So we derive from the root, from pure or from purify. So pure will take the secondary stress. Number 8, the root is intense. Intense. When we have added the verbal suffix phi, it becomes intensify. Intensify. So the stress here is on 10, which is the antepenult, which is the third from the end, because of the verbal suffix phi. Next word is intensification. Intensification. So here the primary is on K because of the line rule, because of a stress shifting suffix, and it is on the penult, second from the end. And the secondary stress here will fall on 10 because we have derived it from the root, which is intensify. So here the secondaries will be on 10, so intensification. Good. We move to the next line, which is line 9. We have the word classification. Classification. So primary stress on the penult on K because of line rule, because of ION suffix. The secondary stress, so we count the number of syllables before the primary. We have classify. Here we need the derivational rule. We derive from the root. The root is class, or classify, same thing. So the primary is on class, so we turn it into secondary. So the secondary is on classification. Next word is codification. Codification. Primary on K, on the penult, because always the line rule, ION. And the secondary is a derivational from code or codify. So it's on co, so secondary is on codification. Next word is verification. Verification. Primary on K, on the penult, because of the line rule. Secondary is on verification, because the root is verify. Verify. Good. The last line, we have the word multiply. Multiply. And the root derived word is multiplication. Multiplication. The primary is on K, on the penult, because of the line rule. And the secondary is on Y. It's a derivation from the root, which is multiply. Good. So we carry on in our lesson. So now we have as well stress shifting suffixes, and now we have nouns becoming adjectives. So the root is a noun and the derived word is an adjective. The derived word is with a suffix, because we have added a suffix and we formed an adjective. Those suffixes are all stress shifting suffixes. So we practice together, and I want to explain and analyze what happened to the root, and I describe all the changes occurred on the root. From the root to the adjective. I'm going to talk about the stress shift, how the stress has shifted because of the stress shifting suffix, and I'm going also to talk in detail about the vowel quality change, a change in a vowel quality, for example, from a weak vowel like the schwa, the short e, to a full and reduced vowel or diphthong, or the opposite, from a full and reduced vowel or diphthong to a weak vowel, which is a schwa or short e. So we analyze the words together. We start with the first line. In this line, we have words having the ik rule. We have the root, which is the noun, and the derived adjective will have the ik suffix. The ik suffix says it falls under the stress shifting suffixes, and any word, the rule says any word having the suffix ik, the stress will fall on the penult. The penult is the second from the end. We start with the first word, which is the root or the root noun, the word atom. Atom. When we have added the ik suffix to form an adjective, it becomes atomic. Atomic. Atom, atomic. So what happened here? What happened? First, we notice a stress shift from the syllable a to the t, to the second syllable, to to. Okay, this is the first thing we notice. So there is a stress shift. And also we notice a change in the vowel quality. In the noun, we used to have the vowel a at the beginning, but it turned to be, and it changed to a schwa in the derived adjective, and it becomes a. We notice as well another change in vowel quality from the syllable to, which carries a schwa. It becomes to with a short o in the adjective. So, atom, atomic. Next word. The root noun is idiot. Idiot. The stress is on e, idiot. When we have added the stress shift in suffix ik, it becomes idiotic. Idiotic. So, what happened here? Idiot, idiotic. We notice not only a stress shift from e to o, but as well a change in vowel quality from ear in idiot to o in otic. Next noun, root, which is sympathy. Sympathy, when we have added the ik, it becomes sympathetic. Sympathetic. So we notice that we have a change in the stress, a shift, in the stress, and a change in vowel quality from the with short e to a, the, with the a vowel. The next noun, root, which is dogma. Dogma. It becomes dogmatic. Dogma, dogmatic. So we notice a vowel a stress shift, and a vowel change from do with o to de with a schwa, and me, which was the suffix the syllable me in the noun, it becomes ma in the adjective. We move to the second line, which carries where we have words having two suffixes. They are under the line rule. They are the suffix ious and eous. So those are two suffixes under the line rule. We read the noun and the adjective. So the first one is malice. Malice. When we add the suffix ious, it becomes malicious. Malicious. So what happened? A shift in the stress and a change in vowel quality. In the first syllable, ma becomes me, and that's it. Yeah. The second word is victory. Victory, the noun, the root, it becomes victorious. Victorious. So we notice again a shift in the stress and a change in vowel quality. Here in victory, we have a dropped schwa in victory. So normally it's a victory, but it's a dropped schwa. So the te becomes to, and the short e in re, it becomes reus. Reus. Okay? Next word, we have carriage. Carriage, it becomes courageous. Courageous. So we notice a shift in the stress and a change in vowel quality from ka to ku and from ri to re. Okay? Next word, the noun root advantage. Advantage. To advantageous. Advantageous. So what happened here? We have a stress shift and a change in vowel quality from ud to ad, and from van to vn, and from t to te. Okay? So we have three vowel changes here. We have finished with this line. We move to the next line where we have three suffixes which belong to the line rule: eol, UAL and EAL, and we have another suffix which is AL, all. This suffix is a stress shifting suffix, in fact, but it does not, it is not classified under the line rule. So we start with the first word, accident. Accident. When we add the stress shifting suffix all, I said it's not the line rule because it starts with A, but it is a stress shifting suffix. It becomes accidental. Accidental. So what happened? Stress shift and change from it stays the same, from didn't, which is a schwa, to dent, which is a strong vowel a full and reduced vowel. The next word is the word colony. Colony, and when we have added the stress shifting suffix and the line rule IAL suffix, it becomes a colonial. So stress on the penult as usual. Colonial, colony, colonial. What we notice a stress shift, and the suffix, the syllable ko in the root becomes ke in the derived adjective, and le in the noun, it becomes low with a diphthong o in the adjective, and as well the short e in ni becomes ia, nia. Okay. Next word is resident. Resident. When we have added the stress shifting suffix IAL, the stress shifts to the penult and becomes residential. Residential. So a stress shift and a change in vowel quality from dent to dent. Dential, sorry, from dent to dent. The next word is the word habit. Habit. When we have added the stress shifting suffix, which is under the line rule, UAL suffix, the stress shifts to the penult and becomes habitual. Habitual. Habit, habitual. So not only a stress shift, but a change in vowel quality from, no, we don't have really a real change here in vowel quality because the word is only disyllabic in the root. So we cannot have a change in vowel quality because the word is short here. The next word, or the last word in this line, is the word larynx. Larynx. When we have added the stress shifting suffix, which is under the line rule, EAL suffix, it becomes laryngeal. Laryngeal. So a stress shift. And here again, we don't have a change in vowel quality because the word is short. It used to be only 2 syllables. We move to the last line. Again, we have 2 stress shifting suffixes, and they are under the line rule. We have the suffix ian and the suffix eol. So the first word is Canada. Canada, it becomes Canadian. Canadian. So here a vowel stress shift and a change in vowel quality from ka to ke and from ne to ne. Canada, Canadian. Good. Next word is the word Milton. Milton. Milton is a British poet. Milton is called John Milton. Milton is a British poet. So from Milton to Miltonian. Miltonian. So the Miltonian means the literary style of Milton, like we say Shakespearean literary style. And here we say Miltonian literary style. So Miltonian, we notice a stress shift and a change in vowel quality here from tin to toe. Tin in Milton to toe in Miltonian. Great. The last word is the word family. Family to familiar. Familiar. So the stress shifted from fa to me. So we notice a vowel quality change from fa to fe. Fa in family to fe in familiar. And this is the only vowel quality change. This was our lesson for today. Thank you for listening. See you in the next lesson.